My name is Victoria Winters. An overwhelming force has taken possession of a young girl. Unseen, unsuspected, it withdraws the life from her. The telltale marks are a frightening indication of what this girl has been victim to.
Burke and Vicky just left. He's taking her home. She's still pretty shaken.
Thank God she was here to answer that phone. Never in a million years we thought to look in the cemetery for her.
I just wish I knew what made her go there.
Oh, why doesn't that doctor get here?
Well, he'll be here as quickly as he can, sir.
Look at her. She looks bad. I've never seen her look so bad. Marks on her neck. What are they?
I don't know.
I can't figure out what they are, how they got there. How did they get there, Joe? How did they get there?
Today, the part of Dr. Woodard will be played by Robert Geringer.
What's the matter, Sam?
I thought it was going to come in this room.
What? What was it?
That dog howling out there. You heard it, didn't you?
Yeah, sure I did.
What's it doing? Always hanging around out here.
Oh, listen, it's been heard all over town. It's just a dog.
These doors were open. Why are they always open?
Well, she probably wants some fresh air.
You know, she must have gone out through those French windows. There it goes again. If I had a shotgun, I'd go after her.
Sam, she's waking up.
Why doesn't that horse and buggy doctor get here?
He'll be here, Sam.
Oh. Easy, Maggie. Easy, easy. Are you? Yeah. You're okay, Maggie. Everything's all right. You're safe. Your hand is cold. It's like ice. Why is it so cold, Joe?
What happened to me, Pop?
Oh, nothing. You just got lost. You had a bad night here.
Bad night.
Don't you remember?
No, I remember going to sleep, that's all. Just went to sleep.
Oh, don't you remember going out of the house?
Out of the house? Where did I go?
Well, you...
Sam, maybe you better not. Huh?
What do you mean, better not? I want to know. Got to know.
Well, wait till you're more rested, dear.
Tell me.
Oh, if I'd stayed here, this wouldn't have happened.
No, it's my fault.
Fault? What? Tell me, please.
Well, I allowed you to chase me out of the house.
Chase you out?
You accused me of being a babysitter, don't you remember?
I think I remember talking to you.
You told me in no uncertain terms to scram, which I did, thinking you were going to get back into bed.
And instead of that, you ran out through those windows. Don't you remember going through those windows?
I'm not sure. Where did I go?
Well, you just kind of wandered around.
Until Vicky and Burke found you.
Vicky and Bert.
I'm sure they brought you back here.
Where did they find me?
Well, Maggie, that isn't important.
Where did they find me? I'll call Vicky and find out myself.
They found you in the cemetery, up on Eagles Hill.
Cemetery? No.
Yes. Have you any idea what you were doing there?
No. Was I alone? What was I doing when they found me?
Well, you were lying on the ground. You were unconscious.
Was I alone?
Yes.
I think I can remember being in the cemetery. I was in the cemetery. I remember Vicky and Burke. They're standing over me,
I mean, it's coming back to you?
beginning to remember things.
Well, that's a good sign.
I remember Burke going after someone.
That's right. He saw a shadow, but he couldn't find anyone.
You, think someone was with you?
No. No.
Oh,
I was alone.
what is it, Maggie?
Oh, I'm so cold. I'm so cold. Colder than I've ever been in my life.
How does it read, Doc?
5 degrees below normal. Let's see what that pulse has to say. Give me your hand, Maggie. Come on, please. Your left hand. It's a cold hand.
Well, actually, I put all the blankets on there that I could. She was freezing, shaking like a leaf, trying to keep the room warm.
Do you have to do that?
Yes, I do, young lady. Now, let me roll up your sleeve. So. All right. Now, that doesn't hurt too much, does it?
No.
I wish you wouldn't be so mistrustful of me, Maggie. All I want to do is make you well.
Make me well.
That's what I'm here for. Now, how many of those pills that I left have you taken?
I don't remember.
Well, actually, she didn't have too much of a chance to.
That skin, the color's very gray. What's the matter, Maggie?
Nothing.
You don't mind if I take a little look in your eyes now, do you?
Must you?
You know I wouldn't bother you with things like this unless I thought I had to. Now, the other one. You gotta relax, Maggie. You're all tensed up. Now, you just tell me one thing. Who told you that you could get out of that bed?
No one.
You know, Maggie, you're one of those patients that doctors moan about at medical conventions. The kind that makes our work so much more troublesome.
I didn't call you Dr. Woodard.
No, I know you didn't. Your father did, and rightly, too. You're a very sick young woman. Now, Maggie, I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to think very hard before you answer me. As far as you know, have you ever walked in your sleep?
No, I haven't.
How about dreaming about sleepwalking?
Can't remember what I dreamed.
Well, you remember that dream you had the other night.
Pop!
Now, what dream was that?
Well, she had a dream that upset her very much. She dreamed that she saw a coffin, and when it opened, she was inside it.
Well, I don't pretend to be a dream analyst, but it seems I can see a possible connection. You dream about this coffin with you inside it. Tonight you take a walk for yourself and we discover you in a cemetery. It just seems more than likely there might be some related dream in which you were searching for that coffin.
Please. Please stop talking about it.
Maggie, I understand. This is all very upsetting for you. Sam, I think we can safely assume that Maggie indeed did a little sleepwalking tonight and that that's how she got to that cemetery and not in any other way, huh? Now,
No!
what's the matter, Maggie?
Nothing.
Let me see your throat. Maggie, how did you get these?
I don't know.
How did you happen to come by these wounds in your throat?
I don't don't know.
Now, listen, what do you mean? You've got 2 puncture wounds in the skin on your throat, and you're trying to tell a doctor you don't know anything about how they got there? I want to know the circumstances under which you received these wounds. They seem very precise. I'm absolutely certain they weren't there when I examined you earlier tonight.
No, they weren't there. I can assure you of that.
Well, then she must have gotten them in the cemetery or on the way. Hope they're not infected. I better get something on those.
No! No! You've got to be left alone. They've got to be left alone.
Now, what do you mean by saying they should be left alone?
They're nothing. They're not important.
All right, so they're not important, but even the tiniest injury, even a scratch, must be attended to. Suppose it got infected. Now, let me see them again, Maggie. Come on, turn your head. Oh, thank goodness they seem to be clean at any rate.
Is it a cut, Doc?
No, it's definitely a puncture. They're 2 small holes, round. If it had been something she fell against, you see, the edges of the holes would be torn. Maggie, you didn't stick a pin in your neck by any chance, or maybe a piece of costume jewelry?
Not that I can remember.
Well, maybe you'll remember later. Sam, as small as those puncture wounds are, they should have bled somewhat. Wasn't there any blood on her clothing at all?
Not a drop.
Tell me, Maggie, is it painful?
No! Leave me alone! Everybody's got to leave me alone!
How is she?
Sort of half asleep. What do you think, Doc?
She's in a very serious condition. There's something I've got to do immediately just to save her life.
Her life?
Yes, Sam, her life. The body doesn't function without a blood supply. Now, she has barely enough in her right now to keep her going. I'd like to give her a transfusion right away. Do you realize that your daughter has undergone 2 severe losses of blood in a very short period of time?
Losses of blood?
Yes!
Well, you mean you're going to have to take her to the hospital?
No, I don't dare move her now. I tell you, I want to give her a transfusion right here and now. I would, too, if either of you had the right type blood. She's type A.
I have type A.
Joe, are you sure? Are you positive?
Absolutely, yes.
You know, when I first examined her, I suspected a blood disease. I've begun to doubt that now. Of course, I won't know for sure till I get the reports from the lab, but until I know precisely what treatment should be given to her, I've got to take the most obvious step. I've got to replenish that blood supply. I want to get that blood flowing into her right away. I'm afraid she's going to go into shock. Terribly afraid that she's going to go plunging down into shock.
What are you doing?
It's all right, Maggie. Now just hold still. Hold still.
There he goes again. I wish I could get near him. Listen to that. It's getting nearer.
Take it easy, take your hand away. Sam.
Hold that hand.
No. Don't take his blood. Don't take his blood.
I'll tell you, Doc, she scared me pretty badly trying to tear that needle out like that.
Well, I'll give you a prescription that should help you to avoid that sort of thing happening again.
Uh-huh.
I want you to have this made out as fast as you can.
What is it?
It's tranquilizer.
Uh-huh.
The most important thing for us is to keep her relaxed until I find out what the proper treatment for her is.
Uh-huh. I'll get it filled immediately.
Now, Sam, I'm going to ask you one other thing which I realize is very demanding.
What's that?
I want you to keep that girl of yours under a constant watch. And I mean constant. She's obviously a sleepwalker, and she can't be trusted alone. Neither can she afford to be allowed out of that bed. Now, we were just plain lucky that she didn't go down into shock. I understand that you can't possibly keep watch on her all by yourself, but you're just going to have to dig up some friends, Joe and some other people, to spell you a couple hours out of this time, see? Maybe a nurse if you can afford it. But the main thing, the most important thing is that whoever's with her is somebody that she knows, trusts, has confidence in.
Yes. I won't let her be alone, Doc.
All right, now I'll get by early tomorrow. You got my number in case you need me. I'd stay tonight, but I have to get up early tomorrow and operate first thing.
Well, thanks, Doc. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this.
Well, I can't tell you how seriously I mean what I tell you. We're dealing with a condition here, Sam, that's far from normal. No matter what Maggie says, no matter what she does, don't let her out of your sight. Good night, Sam.
Good night, Doc.
Maggie?
Who is it?
It's me.
Joe. You're so strange.
Well, you're tired and weak.
Tired. Where's Pop?
Well, he just went out to get a prescription filled. He'll be back in a minute.
I think I remembered taking your blood.
You needed some, Mag.
Wish you had.
What are you talking about? You needed a transfusion.
Don't want your blood. Don't want anyone's blood.
I don't understand.
Joe, stay out of this. Stay out of this.
Stay out of what?
How is she, Joe?
Oh, I guess she's better. She came out of it for a little bit.
Good. Well, you've had a pretty rough night. Maybe you ought to go home and get some rest.
Okay. What time would you like me to come back in the morning?
Oh, I don't know. I'll give you a call.
Anytime.
Well, I found these keys. I think I'm going to lock these windows.
Oh, that's a good idea. Well, I'll see you in the morning.
Okay, Joe. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Maggie. See you soon.
Bye.
Stop it, Maggie!
Let me out!
No!
Let me out! Let me out!
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.